Well, greetings again. This is Robert Schein, Managing Director and Partner with Blanke Schein Wealth Management. Well, today is Friday, May 15th, and there's a few topics that we want to cover in terms of our Friday Insights. Now, Friday Insights is a real brief recap of sort of some topics that we've discussed this week or things that we want to draw our attention to that the markets are looking at that we're monitoring in the coming weeks ahead. So let's get right to it, and thanks for watching. So our first topic is signs of market rotation. Specifically, what I'm referring to is what we saw in yesterday's trading session. Markets opened up low, they went lower, and then they rebounded. And throughout the day, sort of the longtime leaders over the last weeks and months past, think technology as a sector specifically that has been leading sort of the charge. And as we get through, our March lows to today, well, they sort of gave up sort of the leadership, and that money then rotated into one of the lagging sectors that we discussed in the last few episodes, if you will, of our daily updates, and that specifically are the banking sectors. So the banking sector got a bid yesterday, which is a positive sign that the market's rotating through. Also, the S&P did test sort of a support level yesterday, and it bounced. So it's another positive sign that the market's sort of working its way through in a trading range, as we discussed, as we believe, here at Blanke Schein Wealth Management. So our next topic, we're going to discuss USChina Relations, and I'm going to be brief on this because this is an evolving story. We started the new year with a new China trade deal, and that was, immediately run into sort of where we are today as it relates to the coronavirus and all the tensions that have built up and leading up to this, and that are going to continue to persist throughout this. Markets are going to be concerned about this. We believe it's going to be a continuing story as it relates to investments. So we're going to keep a close eye on it. Again, just to recap with Blanke Schein Wealth Management, what we look at in terms of research, we look at quantitative research, we look at policy research, we look at technical research, and economic research. That's sort of every single day. I sort of give you a combination of something from every category, because there's a lot of different technical factors as it relates to the structure of the way markets move. Quantitative research is sector rotations, as we discussed earlier in this daily update. Economic factors, right? The GDP, unemployment, we'll talk about next. But policy updates, the HEROES Act that we're talking about on Friday now, going through the House, and ultimately what becomes of that in future weeks as Congress looks at that. So again, that's sort of a recap that right now, from a policy standpoint, the U.S. and China relationship, that's something that the market and markets are going to look at, and we're going to continue to keep a close eye on as it's an evolving story. So again, like anything, it's going to get worse before it gets better. But we do believe long-term it will get better, but this is going to be a long, drawn-out fight. Our final topic of the day on our Friday Insights is U.S. unemployment claims. Again, Washington Post just did an article interviewing those that are currently unemployed, and the article reported that of those that are unemployment, and that number keeps rising on a weekly basis, of the 33 plus million when they did their report on U.S. unemployment claims, almost 8 out of 10 reported that they expect to get their jobs back. So that means that they've signed up for unemployment, insurance is kicked in, it's a furlough, so it's a short-term claim. As we know that Congress has enhanced the current unemployment benefits in the short term to help alleviate sort of the economic stress as a result of the shutdown that has occurred. But there's sectors that we know that aren't going to return to what it was pre-COVID-19. The travel sector, the airlines, the cruise, that industry has got a long road to hold. So those that are claiming unemployment as a result of that, which is unfortunate, remains to be seen what it looks like, but it's not going to return to 2019 levels. So that industry could have long-term permanent damage in their respective, those being unemployed. So that's going to be a stress on the U.S. economy. But there's also sectors like restaurants. They might need all their staff back, but I will tell you, what we saw on Personal Antidote on Sunday night, it was Mother's Day. So the kids ordered from a food delivery service to go pick up one of Mom's favorite places to go eat. We ordered at 5:30. We didn't receive our food until 8:30 at night, and sort of indication right there that the pent up demand in the system. So the restaurant wasn't expecting that much demand and interest on Sunday night, on Mother's Day. Go figure. I don't know any mother that want to be in the kitchen, or us being in the kitchen cooking for her and then not cleaning up as properly as we should be for mom anyway. That being said, the demand was huge, substantial. I know several other cases that situation happened where the restaurant industry wasn't ready for, of course, it's Mother's Day and it's a sort of a day where everyone would go out. But at the end of the day, I think there's going to be a lot more pent-up demand in the U.S. economy as it relates to reopening, or the U.S. economy reopening, and all of us sort of figuring out the safest way, the best way to sort of get back to slowly but surely and thoughtfully sort of the new normal that we're entering in. But what we do have is an indication that there will be pent-up demand. If there's pent-up demand, there's going to be those businesses and services that are going to require to rehire those employees. So hopefully this is temporary, as it's been claimed and reported. And time will tell, and we will see. But something tells me that there's a tremendous demand buildup as a result of all of us being at home for a good long time. So thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. Stay healthy and safe.